In this lecture, we will going to discuss about commands like pwd, base name, cd, ls, cat, and touch. So let's start with pwd. The pwd command checks the current working directory. So when you type in pwd in your machine, so whichever the directory you are in, it will give you the full absolute path for you. So let's get into the machine and we will check like what output you will get it. So when I type in pwd, so you'll get the absolute path where in which directory you are in. Let's say I'm in some other directory. So like let me cd into one of the directory. We will discuss the cd later. So when I just type in pwd now, so I'll get the absolute path where I am currently in. Okay, if you want to get the folder where you're working on, so then you can go ahead and you can use this particular pwd command. Okay, and also as you can see here, so it gives the absolute path. So in case if I need like only the folder name, so what command we can use for that? So there is a command base name. So base name is a standard computer program on a Linux like operating system. So it can be a Unix. So when a base name is given a path name, so you can send any path for the base name command, and it will delete the prefix up to the last slash character, and it will return the result. So that means like whenever I do a base name, and if I give some path as an input, like let's say a slash b slash c slash d, so I'll be getting only d as output. It will delete whatever before the last slash. This is last slash, right? So it will ignore all these things. It will give me the only d as output. Okay, so in that case we can use this command to get the present working folder as well, right? You can use base name, and then inside the double quotes, what you can do is $pwd. It is considered to be a command. So after executing this command, then the value is sent to the base name. So in my case, my present working folder is this one, right? So that's the reason it is giving that. So if I go back one directory back, so then again if I execute base name $pwd, I'll get the present working folder, not the full path. Okay, so now it might be confusing why we need only present working folder like that. But when we discuss shell scripting scenarios, so that time this is very useful. So wherein to get the present working folder, and so we can do a lot of stuff by using this base name. Okay, and the next command is cd. So cd command changes directories to specified directory, and directory name can be specified by using absolute path or a relative path. So I've already used this CD. So CD can be used for changing a directory. So like let's say I have when I do ls, so I'll be getting a lot of like directories. In my case, it is only one directory. If you want to go inside that directory, then you need to use CD, and you need to give that directory. So this is a relative path. So I'm not giving the full path where my directory is, right? So that's what, like, you can give both relative path and absolute path. So if I go back one directory back, and then if I want to go into this directory again, th that time I've used a relative path, right? Let me use now absolute path. Okay, so now let me give 35, and when you just press on tab, so it will auto complete it. So now again you will be in the same directory. Okay, so you can use absolute path or a relative path, any one you can use it. And if you want to go one directory back, so then you can use cd dot dot. And if you want to go back to the folder where you previously was in, so then you can use cd dash. So wherein you will go back to the directory where you are. Okay. And then if you want to go back two directories back, so then you can use cd dot dot slash cd dot again dot dot. Okay. Now when I type in pwd, I'll be in home. Okay. Now, like let's say you are in some directory, so I want to go back to my home directory, user's home directory. So then that time you can type in cd. So you'll go back to the home directory of a particular user. So this is my home directory for this particular user. So that's the reason I'm here. Okay. And we can use this also, this tilde symbol, to come back to the home directory. So either like cd, you can type in cd, or you can type in the tilde symbol. So you'll go back to your own directory. If you want to go back to the root, so then you need to use the slash cd slash. So you'll go to a root. So depending on your requirement and your task, you can set your directories according to. Okay, so cd dot dot again I said, so it is to go back to the parent directory or one directory back. Okay, and the next command is ls. So before explaining ls, let me clear my screen. ls command is used to list the content of a particular directory. So let's say I'm in a directory. When I type in pwd, I'm in this directory, right? Home, this particular directory. When I type in ls, so I'll be able to see all the files, all the directories under that particular directory. Okay, so ls is basically to use to list all the files and directories in a particular directory, and there are a lot of options for that. So in the last lecture, I've told you there is a command by using which we can see all the options present in any of the command. So that is man. When you type man ls, so you'll be able to see all the options. There are a lot of options in it. So depending on your requirement, again, you can take the options and you can work on that. Okay. So now, so I'll gonna show you a few of the options so that are used in daily activities. Okay. So the first one is ls-l. So which gives 7 attributes of your file. The first character in this line is like whether it's a directory or it's a regular file. So if it is D, so then it's a directory. If it is this dash, so then it's considered to be a regular file. And then the next things are permissions on the file. So this permissions we will gonna discuss in coming videos. So now, as of now, so these are the permissions on a particular file or a directory. Okay, and then this is a link. So how many links on this directory is existed now till now? And so for this file, as you can see, only one link, soft link or hard link existed. And then this is the owner ID, group ID, and then we have memory size of that file in bytes, and this is modified time, and then this is the folder name. So it's same as like for each and every file. So this is for same, like, so for this file, if you take, this is the access modified time, and this is the bytes of size that particular file is. And yeah, so this is how, like, if you want to get the detailed information about your file, so then you can use ls-l. And you can concatenate other options as well. So there is something called as a T. So when you give this one, so it sorts the output according to the access time. Okay, so as you can see now, August 12th, so not access time, sorry about that, so it's modified time. Okay, so depending on that, it sorts the output. And then we have something called as -r, so which is uppercase R. When you give that, so it'll display all the files or directories inside your directories as well, like recursive. -r means recursive. Okay, the files inside the directories will also visible when you give this particular option. And there will be many hidden files as well. Like when I just type in ls-a, you'll be able to see many hidden files, as you can see here. So the dot files are basically considered as hidden files. So when you want to see those things as well, so then you can use ls-a. Okay, and then if you want your files in a folders in every new line, like now in a single line you have couple of file names and folders, right? So I don't want in that way. I want a folder name or a file name for each and every line. So then I can use ls-1. So when I type in this, so you'll be able to see one file name or a directory name for one line. Okay, so these are the options you can use according to your requirement. You can choose the better options and you can use it according to them. And the next command is cat. So cat command is basically used to display the content of the file. So when I just type in cat and when I do rt.txt, you'll be able to see the content of the file. Okay, you can display content of many files at the same time. So when I just give rt.txt and like, let's say I'll just give host, so it will concatenate both the files content and it will show it on the standard output. Okay, so basically cat is used for to display the content of a particular file. And also we can create the file as well. So when I just say cat and so xyz, my file name, if it is not there, you can create the files as well, xyz, and I can give the extension txt. And when you type it, it'll ask you to enter what is the content of this file. Let me enter 1, 2, 3, and I'll just press on Control C. So I'll be out of that particular file. When I just do cat on xyz .txt, so now you'll be able to see the content of that particular one. Okay, and the next command is touch. Touch command is used to create a single file or a multiple empty files. So by using touch command, you can create multiple empty files. So wherein like it can be like you want to create it, you want to make sure which is empty, you want to use that files in a coming steps or in a further days. So then you can create the files using this touch. Okay, touch A, B, C. So now I'll be creating like 3 files. So now when I do ls, so I'll be able to see 3 empty files. So now when I do cat on A, so nothing will be there. So it's just an empty file. So that's it for the video. So in the next video, again, we will gonna discuss a few more Linux commands.